Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
Today we're gonna talk about Ozempic. We've been
Ew.
talking about it a lot. It came up in the Super Bowl commercials.
Well, it comes up in like a lot of commercials. Like you can hardly even turn on the TV without seeing. In fact, I don't think you can actually watch a TV program without seeing an ad for that.
They're
You can't.
pushing it
Yeah,
everywhere.
you can't listen to a radio station without hearing an ad for it. It's being pushed everywhere.
So the stats are 1 in 8 Americans has taken Ozempic or a similar weight loss. They call it a weight loss drug. It means Gila monster venom.
Yeah,
So 1 in 8
it means it's
Americans has
gonna
injected Gila monster venom into their stomach.
it's going to paralyze your stomach so that basically you can't fit any food in there. It doesn't
Which
process. So that
that
doesn't
sounds like
sound
a,
like a good idea.
we talked about this before too. It's like they choose that tact rather than control yourself around food and exercise.
I know.
And that's completely off the table.
That's
No pun intended.
yeah, like we're not going to try that. We're just going to like go straight towards injecting our stomachs with poison. In fact, I know some people who are doing this drug and like one of them I remember she was like doubled over in pain one day and did
That doesn't sound good.
didn't make the connection to like injecting herself daily or weekly. I don't even know. Is it a weekly thing?
I don't know.
But weekly or
It definitely.
monthly or yearly sounds way too much to me.
And
But
didn't you say it's indefinite? She's like, well, no, I can never stop.
no, no, that's true. And I actually read about this. They when they get these people on this drug, it's a lifelong prescription. You can never stop taking it because they say that if they stop, they will immediately gain all the weight back and then some.
You know what it is? It's the culture club thinning the herd. No
Thin.
pun intended.
It's a
No
good
pun
one.
intended.
That's
They're thinning the herd
they're
because
thinning the herd.
that stuff, once you get hooked on that and you got to take that for the rest of your life, you're going to die quick.
Yeah, it can't be healthy. I mean, we did some research and uh they were saying that some of the ingredients were like Gila monster venom.
Gila monster venom
That doesn't sound healthy to me.
injected into your stomach.
Yeah.
Injecting anything into your stomach
Yeah.
doesn't sound
First
great.
of all, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be injecting my stomach. Like that sounds painful and
Dude,
gnarly.
I would take it upon myself to just exercise and eat right. That's less painful.
Yeah, you know what? Actually getting on like the elliptical for half an hour a day seems way less painful
Less
to me.
painful than this.
Yeah.
This is weird. And
Yeah.
then, okay, so the reason I brought this up is because there was a news story regarding this company, Novo Nordisk.
Novo Nordisk.
They're
That sounds like a software company.
yeah, Nordisk. It sounds like
It
they make,
sounds like they're making floppy disks or
yeah, is that
something.
the motherboard or something?
Yeah.
That sounds like technology, not
Technology.
medicine.
Yeah.
But
That's weird.
anyways, apparently it means new company from the north.
Okay.
Mm. But
I bet there's a meaning in there somewhere.
it probably
Yeah.
is. It's probably north is actually means Satan.
Yeah.
So anyways,
North of hell.
it's north, it's a little bit north of hell, but
Okay.
it's still in hell. But anyways, so they had the FDA do a kind of a spot check on them.
Oh,
So
that's
so there's a
interesting.
lot of different
I
Kool-Aid
don't
here in
really
this
trust
news
the
story.
FDA
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. So I don't trust the FDA. The FDA is, we've already talked about this, their board is comprised of CEOs from companies like Novo Nordisk.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, Satan runs it.
Satan runs it. It's one of his it's one of his
We're
departments.
gonna get fact checked.
Oh yeah.
YouTube will be like, that is not correct, Firefly. Satan does not run the
Satan does not run the FDA, Butterfly,
FDA.
but our minions do.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the FDA suspiciously is kind of getting on Novo Nordisk's case.
Oh,
And what they're saying
that's
is
interesting.
they're saying, hey, um, two people had suicidal ideation. So suicidal ideation means that they took this drug and said, you know what? I'm not losing any weight. I'm gonna kill myself. It's like if someone immediately takes the drug and goes and kills themselves, you probably can draw a parallel to that.
Right. And
You can probably attribute it to that.
when the FDA says that two people had this problem, it's probably more like 2000.
Well, that's the other thing.
You know,
The only reason they found out was because something weird happened, and then they looked into it, and then they went, "Oh, wait a second, this happened." So
they're not going to report it if it's two people and draw the compare. They're not going to like say that this was related to their drug with two people. There's probably
this is the
thousands.
thing. This is the thing. There are FDA regulations, and they seem sensical.
Hmm.
It's almost like this facade of legitimacy because
Right.
they have to report any adverse reactions to the FDA within 15 days
Mm.
during clinical trials.
Hmm.
And apparently, there's a lot of companies that comply with this protocol. But that sounds almost legitimate.
I have a theory too. It kind of sounds to me like if they're drawing attention to this fact that these two people were suicidal with Ozempic, like it sounds like maybe they're trying to run Ozempic under the bus so that they could promote maybe one of the other companies that's doing this drug.
And
You know what I
that's
mean?
totally plausible. And then the other thing too is this story could be getting the reader to go, oh yeah, no, the FDA is good, dude. Good thing RFK Jr.'s in there. Look at how they're taking care of Novo Nordisk.
Yeah, with just two people. I
Yeah.
know this. They're keeping things safe.
There was no fines issued. There was no
Mm.
there it was a slap on the wrist. So they didn't it was all just a news story essentially. There was no consequences for them because that wasn't the only thing that happened.
Oh.
There was another interesting thing. One lady had a stroke, but then the lady said, "No, no, 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 but it wasn't from Ozempic."
Oh yeah, like the lady I know who was doubled over in pain, but it wasn't from that.
So I was thinking, what if Ozempic users have a form of
Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome? So
Yeah.
they're like because Stockholm Syndrome, what happens? Like, so the guy kidnaps the girl, or he's got like an abusive, like I think Stockholm Syndrome is like an abusive relationship, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the dude is beating the girl up, and he's really a dick to her, but she won't leave him.
Yeah.
And then she keeps making excuses for him.
Or you like what you were starting to say is the person gets kidnapped, but then they fall in love with their kidnapper,
That's true.
right?
So
Like
that's
their
the Stockholm
captor.
Syndrome.
Yeah.
So what if the big shawarma kidnaps the person who's taken him?
Uh-huh.
And now the person, they don't want to, I think their ego, it might be an ego thing.
It's an ego thing with
Their
people.
ego goes, I don't want to admit that I got duped
Right.
into taking this drug that's really screwed me up.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is double down and say, it's not that.
Right. Well, we saw that happen. We saw that happen a lot with the people with the cooties shots. Remember,
Yes.
like people, it would show them like they had both their legs amputated or they had,
The one girl,
strokes or
my
whatever.
favorite girl, I hate to say my favorite, but the one girl, she's like, yeah, no, I got the pokies and I got paralyzed from the chest down
Like the day after.
the day after. But don't get me wrong, I'd do it again.
Yeah, they're like, I
I
do it again. It could have been worse.
Yeah,
It could
I
have been
mean,
worse.
I just had a bad reaction.
Yeah, I could have, like I chose to, instead of just like getting a cold or whatever it was, I took these pokies and now like they cut off both my legs, but
At least I didn't catch a mild cold.
at least I didn't catch cooties.
I know. So there's like a Stockholm syndrome going on with these people because they asked the lady, they go, wait a second, so you took Ozempic in the clinical trial and you had a stroke? Or I guess they're out of clinical trials. So these aren't consumers
Yeah,
having these problems.
yeah,
So this lady went and she probably got Ozempic given to her by her doctor.
yeah.
The doctors are prescribing it.
They're drug pushers.
That's crazy. They're
Yeah.
probably getting fat commissions and driving Beamers and
Oh
getting trophy
yeah.
wives.
Have you seen these pharmaceutical reps? They send like these really hot chicks to the
Totally.
doctor's offices and they take them out to lunch and dinner and wine them and dine them and they give them all kinds of like
I've heard
you
that they
know,
go
perks.
all the way.
I bet they do. They probably hire like porn stars or
That's what
prostitutes
I've
and they
heard.
go, here, you go and like sell this drug to Dr. So
And
and
then
so.
all you do is just go push it onto all of your patients.
Yeah.
So then, that's a whole scam too. So basically, what happens is the doctor's pushing this on people, and then the people are getting horrific side effects, but then they don't want to attribute the side effects to the drug because they don't want to acknowledge that they've been duped.
No, they don't want to acknowledge that they've been duped and they don't want to acknowledge that like the people that they show on these commercials and even like some of the people that I know they did lose some weight but like a lot of them they're still fat and I mean if I'm going to be injecting something into my stomach to like be thin I want to be thin I don't want to still be a fat cow you know what
And
I
even the
mean.
ones that seem to get completely thin, they get this weird Aussie's daughter
Oh,
looking thing.
they call it Ozempic face.
Ozempic face.
They look
Yeah.
super, like, just really drawn and, like, unhealthy, and
They're gaunt and sinewy.
they're gaunt, and, so this is interesting too because so, like, with all of these drugs and there's side effects, I think the goal is to produce a lot of side effects, so they have to go on other drugs. Well, I've been hearing now this is like a whole thing with plastic surgery. Like people are going to get like certain things done to make their faces look more plumped up after taking Ozempic. And it's funny, I saw this, I think it was an article that I was reading, or maybe it was something on Instagram, and it might have been the plastic surgeon was saying, "Oh, there's no such thing as Ozempic face. It's just whenever somebody loses weight, they're going to lose weight and look really thin in their face." And I thought, you know what? I don't agree with that because I've seen people lose weight and I've seen people lose like the Ozempic weight and they do look different. They look
It's
like
different.
saggier or something and
Dude, I've
really
lost 30
unhealthy.
pounds in the last like 5 years. Over the last 5 years, I lost like 30 pounds.
Wow.
And
You
I
look
never
great,
got gaunt
Firefly.
face. Thank you.
You don't look like Ozempic face.
I didn't. If you lose, see, this is the thing. You are supposed to lose weight by controlling yourself around food and exercising daily. People are incapable of even coming to terms with
They have no
that.
they have no willpower. I know some of these people that they are taking Ozempic and
It's so gnarly.
yet they eat like pigs. Like they order like extra sides of French fries and they order all the extra hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and they eat like pigs. But then they think, well, who cares because I'm gonna like go shoot at my stomach with this Ozempic.
So what's interesting about Ozempic is how much it's being foisted.
Mm-hmm.
That's very telling.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere. Remember how many commercials
Everywhere.
in the Super Bowl it was?
Yeah.
There was like almost every commercial break, there was an Ozempic commercial. And now they have actors like they had Serena,
Serena Williams.
and they had the one dude who I've seen him in lots of movies, and now he's doing that. And they have these ad campaigns everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I get emails all the time for Ozempic.
Yeah.
So they're really pushing this. What I'm thinking is there's probably mind control in
Oh, for sure. For
there.
sure.
And think about the numbers. So they're talking about numbers that are across the board. 1 in 8. So what did you say? That's more than 10%.
More than 10% of the population is doing this. So if they can get more than 10% of the population on some kind of mind control,
Totally.
and those people are, I'm sure, I would say, out of those people that are doing that, I would say probably 99% of those people also took the cooties pokey poke.
And this Novo Nordisk company, they previously were an insulin company.
Yeah.
And so they are used to telling people this is their sales pitch. You're going to need to do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You've got diabetes.
Well, they tell people you're pre-diabetic.
You're
So I've
pre-diabetes.
heard that from people too that are because people get very defensive about it. Like if you ask them, like, why are you taking that? It's really
Their
dangerous.
Stockholm Syndrome
They
gets
get,
triggered.
yeah, they get,
Don't be saying bad stuff about my kidnappers.
yeah, they get super defensive and then they go, well, my doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, so I had to do it. No.
It's like Larry Fink goes, what we're going to do is we're gonna test your blood for pre-cancer,
Yeah.
and we see platelets, and it looks like over the next 5 years you're gonna probably get cancer. So we have an AI robot that's gonna create a shot for you. So, but that's all right. We'll take care of that right now.
Yeah.
But my point is, oh, what were you gonna say? You were saying something.
Um, no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, the object is to get people hooked on these for life.
Yeah.
And if you have mind control in it, you kind of have like a hemo, the kind of like walker for life.
Well, you're somatized.
You're
You're
somatized.
like in Brave New World and The Giver, where you get your daily injection of, something that just keeps you sort of like
Oh,
controllable.
profound.
Uh-huh.
Epiphany, epiphany, epiphany.
Okay.
Maybe because what you can definitely conclude, this is not just like firefly conspiracy theory.
Mhm.
You can conclude they are foisting this on people.
Yeah.
So this is everywhere.
Yeah.
So could it be that Ozempic is a big part of the plan?
Yes.
And getting people to be not agitated. Maybe it's taken away because right now we have to take our country back. So there needs to be kind of a sense of urgency. You got to kind of snap out of your comfort zone. You can't be complacent right now. You have to be situationally aware and you have to be open to, okay, how do we get our country back? How do we take things back? We can't just, the status quo is not good.
Yeah.
We've gone off of a cliff. We have to get the train back on the track.
Right. And it doesn't help when we've got a large portion of the population who are just kind of guiding themselves off the edge of the cliff.
They're
We
walkers.
need people to be realizing what's happening and fighting against these problems.
That's right.
You
And
know,
maybe what's in the medication is it's making them not be more just like
whatever.
compliant.
Yeah,
So because of that, we're not fighting back because it seems like the people who take big shawarma, they kind of cozy up to the culture club.
they do.
And then they make excuses for the culture club.
Yeah,
And they say, no, the culture club's not bad.
yeah,
But wait a second, you have Ozempic face. It's like, stop that.
right.
Stop making fun of
I
my
just
Ozempic
lost a
face.
little weight. And I heard that it has some of the same ingredients as the cooties pokes. So
Is it mRNA?
um, I don't know if it was the mRNA or if it was the what was that what was that ingredient that we heard about so much?
Is that the one that basically destroys your immune system?
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's got
Well,
more.
there was that, and then there was luciferase, which allows you to kind of be detected.
Yes,
Remember,
and
someone can point their
scanners.
phone at you and just go, "Oh, you took the pokies."
Yeah, it was was it glyph? I want to say um, it was one of those ingredients that they found in the pokey pokes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a
Yeah,
graphene oxide.
graphene oxide.
That stuff's gnarly.
So I think
That's like those are like little robots that go move around in you after they
yes.
inject you.
So maybe when it goes in there, it goes in and like pokes little holes in your stomach or something.
Totally. And now you
And
gotta keep treating that.
yeah. Well, also I heard I think it was Dr. Brian Artis, he talks a lot about a lot of these drugs. He was talking about how it's got the Gila monster venom in it that actually paralyzes your stomach. And so the stomach can't even digest food. So there's been like some people have like food that's like left in their stomachs for like months and even years.
Because it's not processing. And you know
Yeah.
what? There's a common denominator between that and cooties too. Because remember, Brian Artis was also talking about how the cooties might not have been a virus. It might have been cobra venom sprayed into our water and
Hmm.
poisoned us through water.
I totally believe that.
So maybe the Culture Club has been like, well, why don't we move to
Up
big
the
shawarma?
up the intake.
Yes. So what the plan was is what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a big shawarma initiative of injecting reptile venom into people.
That sounds good.
That's what we'll do. And and that I think that'll be a good idea. So then what they do is they get reptile venom into people through cooties and through Ozempic. And then those people are likely going to be big shawarma users for the rest of their lives.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to get hooked into the big shawarma system. And then, those people are also followers where
Yeah.
if the doctor says, you need to take this the rest of your life, they're just going to go,
Okay.
hey, didn't your dad just stop taking his big shawarma?
Yeah. And like we're seeing a sudden improvement.
I'm
I
starting to think the big shawarma is poisoning you.
Yeah, yeah. So he was taking a blood thinner. That was the only thing he was taking because he had
And
some
those are
strokes,
horrible.
and they were saying, "Oh, this might, decrease your chances of having another stroke." Might. And
On the other hand,
so
it will make you constipated and incontinent at the same time.
yeah, so he was taking those and he was becoming weaker and weaker and weaker.
That's what
And
happens.
we started tapering him off. And my mom said he hasn't taken it for a few days and he hasn't basically been able to stand up for the last 3 weeks. And today he stood up 3 times and he was like much stronger. So I have to wonder if there's a connection there.
I know there is. My spider senses are tingling.
You said take him off of that.
Well,
And
because
that
I watch my dad.
and that wasn't listed as a side effect, but I think that there's stuff that they don't even tell you might be a side effect because of course, if somebody just becomes weaker and weaker, how do you really like? So you can't really always identify the source of that. Oh, maybe they're just old or they're just sick. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, look at how this latest news story that we're talking about talks about how um, dishonest they are
yeah,
about side effects. They're even with all the side effects that they have to list on those commercials, that's not comprehensive.
no,
There's other ones they're not even telling you about.
totally,
It's almost like those side effects they had to divulge.
exactly. So that's scary.
That's only a fraction of them,
And they don't even tell you sometimes that suicide by hanging yourself with a scarf from a doorknob is one of the side effects.
which
But
is
sometimes they do tell you that.
which should let you know. So this is you ever heard somebody talk about how Formula One is like my father-in-law used to be a car mechanic and he loved Formula One. And he would always tell me Formula One is where it's like a petri dish. They test out the new technologies on those fast cars. And then 10 years after you see that braking system in the F1s, that's going to be in cars in 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
It could be the same with the pharma drugs. They could do the same thing where they could be like, oh, well, what you're seeing, what we're doing with Ozempic, we can really mind control people. And with the pokies, now let's put that into Starbucks and Taco Bell.
Totally.
Because
Totally.
they're looking at their own petri dish. All
Yeah.
the people that are taking Ozempic, that's 1 in 8 people in America. That's a huge petri dish.
Yeah.
Now they can give them mind control and study them and go good, good, good. And then how hard would it be for them to put it into like fast food or
Not,
Starbucks
not hard.
at all?
No.
And what if you told Taco Bell, your sales are going to be dramatically improved when
Oh,
you do this?
they'd go for
Taco would be like, that sounds good.
it. Yeah.
So I think it's plausible that they test the drugs in big pharma on their patients, and then when they go, dude, look at how we added this component to this drug, and that dude, several dudes went and
Hung
hung
themselves
themselves by a
by
scarf
from a doorknob.
from a doorknob.
There might be a connection.
You know what? You know what's so funny is when they do that, it's like they're taking an antidepressant. So the person's depressed.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, you know what? I live in a dystopia and I feel like shit about myself. I'm fat. I've got tattoos and I'm at the Dodger game. I'm kind of depressed. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna take an antidepressant. And then the doctor goes, ooh, but I'm sorry. Your antidepressant actually gives you suicidal ideation.
It does seem conducive for an antidepressant to make you want to kill yourself, does it?
No,
It
it seems like
seems
that's kind of defeating the
it
purpose.
seems like it's defeating the purpose. I mean, it seems like the complete opposite of what you would want an antidepressant to do. You know,
So I'm thinking is I'm starting to see.
you should be like dancing through the streets and like
I mean,
singing on the
dude, if I'm
hilltops.
gonna take a drug to antidepress me, dude, I better be in a good fucking mood.
Yeah,
I better
otherwise
not be having suicidal
you may
ideation.
as well just like smoke some pot or
Dude, there's
right?
other options.
there's
options.
other options that'll make
Yeah.
you happy.
I mean, dude, you probably won't kill yourself. So, anyways, I think that's part of a larger scenario because the big shawarma they put mind control in these drugs. I'm convinced they test them on their patients, and then they go good, 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 and then they make agreements, financial agreements with food companies,
Oh, yeah.
and put it into the food.
I would not be surprised.
Like, think about how. Remember how I was addicted to monsters?
Yes.
I haven't had a monster in how long? 3 months?
Has it been 3
How
months?
long has it been?
It hasn't been 3 months, but it's been a good, like, maybe 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I don't even feel like a Jones for him anymore.
Well, the thing was you got off the monsters and you were substituting them with some other stuff that you thought was okay, but we found out that
It had
the
sucralose too.
key ingredient I think that was causing most of the problems was the
I
sucralose.
got addicted to
It's
sucralose.
highly addictive.
So, what I think is sucralose might have reared its ugly head in some kind of a big shawarma product.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went, good, good, good. And
Yeah.
then they said, why don't we invent a product called Monster? And it'll just be under the guise of an energy drink, but we'll cram a bunch of big shawarma mind control into it.
Yeah.
Because, and what I was thinking is, what if the only reason that the monsters weren't mind controlling me is because there's something about my being red pilled that makes me not susceptible?
You're immune.
I think that might be the case
Yeah.
because that was they revealed the
Be
method in that movie.
in which movie?
Um, what was Brad Pitt zombie movie called?
Oh, yeah.
American History X?
Yeah.
No, no,
No, no,
it was
no.
World War Z.
Z.
So in World War Z, remember
I never saw it.
in the end, Big Shawarma is the hero. So
Oh.
it's a zombie apocalypse. So all of a sudden he's driving with his family down the street, and everybody starts chain reaction, turning into zombies. And like once they turn into a zombie, they become extremely violent, start attacking the people around them and turning them into zombies. So that was pretty cool. I like the premise, and I'm thinking that's kind of a metaphor for what's happened in in our society,
Totally.
turning people into walkers
Mhm.
exponentially, probably through Big Shawarma.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm kind of convinced now that I think Starbucks has mind control in it.
I think so.
Because
And
people are so addicted to it. And these people will pay like $7 a day for
there you go.
their coffee, which we've talked about. You could like buy a whole package of coffee and make coffee for probably 2 weeks for $7
My spider senses tell me like Teslas and luxury cars might have mind control in them too,
for sure.
like pumped into the car.
Yeah, those batteries,
Those
those
batteries,
big batteries are
gnarly.
super
So
dangerous.
through the vent comes vapors that just are total mind control
Hmm.
because it seems like, oh my God.
What if the car starts like talking to these people and telling them what to
Yes.
do, like Knight Rider, remember?
Kit.
Yeah,
It's like the
but
things going back and forth
yeah,
and speaking to him.
but like it might tell them like to do evil stuff,
Totally.
you know?
Totally. And they're just gonna be like, yes, Himote.
Go through the Starbucks
Stop your
drive-through right
bells
now, get
on.
your Starbucks, and then go do this awful evil thing.
How about like the guy's about to stop? Like he's like, no, no, I can't do that. That's evil. And the car goes, like pulls him into Starbucks.
He needs another fix.
So I was thinking that maybe they start off by looking at their patients, but they expand it out to putting it into food
Mhm.
because so over 10% of people are taking Ozempic right now.
That's nuts.
I guarantee there's mind control in that.
Yeah.
So what? So then it's kind of like Murder She Wrote. What's the motive?
Well,
What's
the
the motive?
motive is to control people. That's what their main motive is in everything, you know?
So maybe the thing that they want people to be is sedated. It's um, you know, I heard this term. So 1984 is hard tyranny,
Yeah.
and Brave New World is soft tyranny.
Yeah.
This is soft tyranny.
Yeah. And if you've got a population that is numb and dumb, then you can easily control them.
And then they all get their information from a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So you just completely the numb and dumb, they can pull off Project Bluebeam.
Totally.
They could totally.
These people won't ask any questions.
No.
They'll just believe what they're told, what they're seeing, and they're already numb because they're being pumped full of big shawarma that's got mind control. So they're easy to control.
And it's kind of like when you ask somebody, why'd you take it? They always have these weird rationalizations. Like I asked this one dude, I'm like, he was my Lyft driver. And I was like, you took the pokies, bro? And he's like, well, yeah, yeah.
Too.
Remember? And then he goes, I go, that's gnarly, bro. I'm sorry, but that's gnarly. And he goes, well, I didn't want to take it, but there was a band playing that I really like, and you had to have one to go in. And I was like, dude, you sold
No
you
backbone.
sold out so cheap, dude.
Yeah. Well, some people were doing it to get free donuts.
That's true. I remember that. I remember that. So I bet you Ozempic, there's similar rationales.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, one of my mom's friends, and I love her daughters. They're great. I love them. But she went down to TJ.
Tijuana.
Yeah. And she was like, well, I didn't get Ozempic. I got the generic Ozempic.
Ozempico.
Ozempic.
Ozempicito.
You only lose 5 pounds, but it's
It was
cheaper.
cheaper.
That's it.
I don't
Dude.
think I'd be going there for
Oh my God.
the knockoff version.
You're gonna go down to TJ and buy something that you inject into your stomach. I mean, I'd rather buy acid. That'd be
On the
safer.
street.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not injecting, dude. And people inject that into their stomachs.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
So this Novo Nordisk story was kind of gnarly. There's a couple of things. First of all, it's in Infowars. So what Infowars might be doing is saying, no, 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 no. Look at RFK Jr. Look at the wins.
Right. He's working for the FDA and he's calling all this bad stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you drill down into the article a little bit more, you find out that the FDA only had to call it out because there was some incident that became public
with two people.
Two people.
And it's only two people. It's like, did you hear that report that they did recently? And they said 10 children died from the cootie shots.
Yes.
10.
There was 10 of
I'm
them.
like, that's probably more like 10,000. You know what I mean?
I actually, if you ask me, like, how many people you think died from the cootie shots? How many people you think worldwide died from it? I think it's probably close to 1 billion people.
Yeah.
And people will be like, dude, that's insane. Well, it's not insane because cause of death can be easily manipulated.
Yeah. And they were doing that. I mean, I know people that were working in healthcare and they were saying that they were like listing cause of death as cooties with people that were coming in like that had been in a motorcycle accident.
Totally.
So
like gunshot wound to the head, but he did have cooties.
He did have cooties, so that's how he died.
That's how he happened to die.
It doesn't really matter that he got run over by a bus. That's beside the fact.
Or they'll have some dude like take the cooties shot, and then the next day he's playing soccer and he dies on the field. And they'll be like, global ing killed him.
Earth modification.
Earth mod. He died of Earth mod.
Yeah,
it was too hot.
Clearly, it was just a really hot day. It has nothing to do with that pokey poke.
Remember, they did that with that one guy that was playing for the Indianapolis Colts. I can't remember his name, but he was like some black kid, and he was a receiver. He catches the ball, and then
DeMar Williams.
Was that him?
Yeah.
And he clearly has a heart attack on the field.
Yeah.
So a 22-year-old in peak condition that has a personal trainer, he's just going to have a heart attack on the field. That's nothing to see.
And people were like, oh, well, if you like have a blunt force trauma to the heart at just this right angle, at just the right time that your heart is like beating at this point in your body, that can happen. And I actually heard people talking like that. They were like, that could happen, And then there was a whole shit ton of people having strokes. Yeah.
And then suddenly there was new Kool-Aid coming out about how Earth modification was causing strokes.
Yeah, because people were getting too like riled up about it, I guess.
Too riled up about it. So
was that what was giving like the 10-year-olds heart attacks and stuff too?
Totally.
The Earth mod?
Totally.
Yeah.
So when people ask me...
Because it's common for like 8-10-year-olds to have heart attacks.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, well, how many people died from the cootie shot? I'd say probably close to a billion. And they probably will come out like 20 years from now, they'll say it looks like there was about 111 deaths worldwide from the cootie shot.
Yeah, we're sorry,
And it was like, why
but
did you guys even have to admit 111?
RFK has made them safer.
RFK's made him good. Remember the one girl? She comes out. She was like one of the early takers. She was like in Kentucky, and she was like in her scrubs.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah,
She's
she
doing
was
a
at a
press
press
conference.
conference.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And she's just like, you know what? I'm just so proud of my team. And I'm just like,
And then she just like keels over, and then we never heard from her again.
never heard
It
from her
was like
again.
her family got paid off to go in hiding.
And remember all the weird stuff with her Facebook
Yeah.
page? It was like all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, that's not available anymore. Excuse me, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, dude,
And why would you know what? If you're her family and she died like that on the spot, how could you sell out? Like Pfizer must have given them like millions of dollars to
you
keep
know what they
quiet,
probably did? They probably
you know?
unalived anybody there who was going to say a word. They probably
Probably.
went and met with the family and they said, if you say anything, we'll unalive you.
But here's $2 million to keep quiet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that one dude. Remember he was on Alex Jones like several times. His 14-year-old son.
Oh yeah, God.
That was so
You
horrific.
I think I cried every time I heard that guy. He was so
He had real pain.
it
That was a
was
real guy.
yeah, it was
That
terrible.
was gnarly. He was a real guy, and they wouldn't let him have an X account.
No. And say what happened.
Yeah,
Like, if you were like if you bought your kid a tricycle that had like a really
like
like
a grenade in
faulty part, yeah,
it.
and your kid got killed, you would like want to warn other parents about
Dude,
it.
I
And
would be so
you know what I
advocating
mean?
for that. He went
Yeah,
around the country. That dude did.
he
He
wasn't
went around
allowed.
the country.
Yeah, and they were trying to keep him quiet.
Well, he was doing a lot of those like Stu was doing like some rallies back then and he was able to speak at those events. And remember they were doing like healthcare events
Hmm.
where Judy Mikovits to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm starting to think?
She's, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know what I think they do is there was a there was a grassroots movement that we were a part of
Uh,
that was pushing back against cooties, and they said, "No, no, 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 you're right. Here's the leaders of it.
uh-huh.
Follow these people.
Yeah.
Judy Mikovits is who you want to talk to."
Yeah.
And then she'll just like give these answers, and they're just like all this like
She's a
fact salad.
She sounds crazy. I'm sure she's like extremely smart, but the way she talks comes across very crazy. Have you ever talked to like a crazy person?
She's a savant.
Yeah, but like, have you ever talked to somebody who's got like schizophrenia?
Yeah,
They start their stories in the middle. So
totally.
like instead of like saying, "Oh my gosh, I was on my way to work this morning and I saw the weirdest thing. This guy was like hanging out on the corner and they don't start the story like that. They just start it like the guy was hanging out on the corner with the and you're like, "Wait a second. What guy?
What's
Like
going
where
on?
were you
That's how
coming?"
she is.
That's how she'll just start throwing out like these random facts and like so it's really
She
hard to
goes all over the place too.
follow her stories.
I remember Alex Jones was talking to her and he was like, are the Pokies geared to destroy certain races of people?
Ooh.
And she was like, oh yes, totally. But then her explanation was like all over the place. And she went off on this tangent, this tangent,
Mhm.
this tangent, and then she just basically did like a word salad and it didn't make any sense. And then Alex goes, we'll be right back.
Let's take a commercial break. Buy some of my vitamins.
But you notice how she had to do that. That's why I think she's controlled opposition because I think that's true. I think that the Pokies were targeted to certain groups.
Well, I did hear a bunch of reports about they were saying that there was a higher death rate after the Pokies in the red states.
That's right. They
So
had batches.
yeah, batches. And so there was also a theory, which I think was true too, that a lot of the batches were actually just like placebos. There were just like saline or
I
something,
believe that.
nothing really in there, or they weren't, maybe they were like expired, they weren't really doing what they were supposed to do. And like the really potent batches that were killing a lot of people were more in the red states.
I think that's plausible. The other thing that's plausible is Mike Yeadon, who was the chief technology officer at Pfizer and quit.
I think he's the real deal.
He is.
I mean,
I think so too.
he actually when I would hear him speak, I would get like I just had a really good instinctual feeling about him. I would get kind of goosebumps. Like he seemed like he had nothing to gain
And that's what
by
you have to
saying this
trust
stuff.
these days. You have to
Yeah.
trust your spider senses like that. What did he say? He said, no, 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 no. Nobody got a placebo. He said, what happens is the spike protein expresses itself in different places. Some people, the second they take it, it expresses themselves in a vital organ
And
and they die.
that's what was so insidious and so evil about this whole thing because you couldn't really pinpoint some of it all the time, like 100% of the time, because not everybody was like dropping dead on the spot right after they got it or
That's
having
right.
a severe effect right away. Some people were totally fine and they might not see an effect for months or Mike Edon said even years. And so
That's right.
it was hard to like prove or even convince people because they'd be like, well, my sister's cousin's
That's what he
brother
said.
took it and he's fine and I took it and I'm fine and it's been a week or whatever, so you couldn't like prove it to a lot of these
That's
people.
it. And then it's a ticking time bomb. So
Yeah.
what he's saying is no one got a placebo,
Mm,
but it's a ticking time bomb. They're
mhm.
eventually going to die from it.
Yeah.
So everybody who took the pokies, according to Mike Edon, is going to die from it. It's probably going to be within 5 years. So we're looking at over the next 2 years, probably seeing a huge die off of people who took the pokies,
Yeah.
and they're not going to attribute it to the pokies
No, because
because
they'll
they're going to
say
say
I
that
took
was
that
5 years ago.
yeah.
And it's like,
So
well,
cooties happened in 2020, right?
and I think the
And they had
shots were like toward the end of that year or the
yeah.
beginning of 2021.
So 2026 is actually probably going to be a very like deadly
I think
year.
people are dropping like flies,
Yeah.
but we're not hearing about it. And also, they're not giving cause of deaths properly.
No, because they're going to say, oh, they had a stroke or they had a brain hemorrhage or something, and they're not going to like connect it or tie it back
Oh my
to
God.
that.
And did you notice how all of the third world barbarians coming across the border, they didn't have to take them.
Right.
So it might be that they were exterminating white people,
Yeah, well, the white replacement
the
theory.
white
They're
replacement.
trying, and literally, if they can kill off a bunch of the people that are here and
That's it.
replace them with those people that
That's
didn't
it.
even take the
I
pokies.
think that's it. I think the Pokies were Operation Kill Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think anyone got a placebo. Because I was thinking the same thing. My mom, I told her not to take it, begged her not to take it, gave her videos to watch, everything, and she took it. And now it's been 4 years since she took it, and she looks great.
Yeah.
She's 76, so she's 77. She looks great. And I'm thinking, well, maybe she must have got a placebo, or that spike protein just hasn't manifested in one of her vital organs yet,
Mm,
which is terrifying.
I know.
She's like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Point being is,
And did you know that you can I believe in the shedding thing too.
oh yeah,
Yeah, but also I don't think it's as potent as I don't think that's that you're going to get the same effects as injecting it into you. But I mean I hope because if not we all have it, but I've heard that it's sexually transmitted.
totally. That's why they
Like
have that shot. They have that dating site. What's it
yeah,
called?
unvaxxed.
Unvaxxed.
Because there were people who there were women who like said that they didn't get it and after having sex with their husbands they were having horrible side effects, their husbands that had taken the pokey poke. Hmm.
And then there's also suggestion that the pokies make you compliant, and I think that there easily could be because, you know, when the lady went and demanded that she get the insert from the pharmacist,
Yeah,
he gives her a blank insert.
yeah, there's like just it's a blank piece of paper. Yeah,
So
that
people
sounds
just gloss
illegal.
over that.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're asking for the ingredients, like it's like if you're saying, "I really liked that casserole you made the other day. Could
Yeah.
you give me the recipe?" And you just hand me a blank card. I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Uh,
I know
I just
exactly
hand
what you
you,
put in it."
I hand you my Culture Club business card that says "Shut
Shut
up."
up.
No, that's exactly right. So she asked to have the guy furnish her with the insert,
Yeah,
and the insert's blank. And I was thinking, why is it blank? Well, probably because if they listed out the ingredients, people would begin to connect the dots and be able to go, this has been attributed to mind control. This has been attributed to this, and
right.
this has been attributed to that. And those all of those things are probably psychological effects.
Right.
I think the Pokies had it probably had spike protein and those things for sure that's going to kill people, but I think it had for sure potent psychological drugs in it that made people compliant.
Well, not only that, but they said that it was a gene altering thing. So
Yes,
it actually like had self-assembly little things in there that,
that was the graphene oxide.
yeah, that changed your genome, and
Oh
they
yes,
have a patent for it, so that
they own you now.
basically they own you.
You're a product now. You're
Yeah.
no longer a human. And now that you're a product, there's some stipulations as it pertains to your human rights.
Yeah, maybe you don't have human rights
Yeah.
anymore.
Now you're a guinea pig.
Yeah.
You signed on to the dotted
But
line.
you know what? It was so hard. You know, the people that would be reading those ingredient lists would be people like us who would want to like point out like what was happening and stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the people that were lining up to take pokes, you know, because you couldn't convince those people not to. I mean, I even tried to convince this one friend her dad was a pharmacist, and she said her own father was telling her don't get it because he was seeing people literally drop like flies in his pharmacy after getting it, and he was and that wasn't enough to convince her not to do it.
No, because we talked about this in a couple episodes, just a couple episodes ago. What makes people compliant is the terror of being canceled.
Yeah.
They went and they don't care as long as don't threaten my financial wherewithal and my social status.
Right. And they terrorize people with like, oh, you might get cooties if you don't do this.
Yeah, you're gonna
You
get
know,
it.
you might get cooties, and which it wasn't a big deal.
You could die.
And it's like I'd rather take my chance dying from that than taking my chance dying from something I decide to inject in myself, because at least if I just get cooties by living a normal life, like, stuff happens.
Your immune
Stuff
system will fight
happens.
it off.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
caught cooties.
in life stuff happens,
Yeah,
but I don't want to like make the decision to consciously go inject myself with something that might cause that problem. Like that sounds way more like then I've decided that I'm going to take this chance on,
that's another
you know what
thing.
I mean?
The cootie shots are all predicated on the fact that your immune system can't protect you from
Yeah,
this.
but they terrified people. They like got people so like whipped up into this frenzy of that this is this deadly thing, when in fact like the death rate was
Point
no
zero 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 zero
it
zero two,
yeah, it was
and it
no
was
more than the
80
flu.
something percent
Like
old people.
remember that friend I was trying to show statistics to, and I said, look, because I it was weird too, because I looked up all these statistics in just in our area. I think it was either just in our county. I think it was in our county. I looked up statistics for the flu for like the previous 5 years,
Oh,
and you could find those statistics in early 2020, or no, it was early, I think 2021. You could find those statistics, and it was giving like the number of people who had like the flu, who had died of the flu. And then suddenly in like 2020 there was no flu. It
but a
was like
COVID.
there was COVID. Yeah. And I was like, look, see how there was no flu this year, but there was all these COVID, you know? And she was like, well, I don't know what they're dying of now, but they're all dying of COVID now. Like,
It's what it is,
yeah, like
and that's what they do.
she couldn't see that they had just like changed the name. Like now we're calling flu COVID, you know what I mean? It was so obvious, but
That's the manipulation,
yeah.
and the people fall for it. And now we're
And
falling
even,
for this Ozempic
yeah.
manipulation too.
And even still, if the people were all dying of COVID, like still it was only like 0.02% of the population.
Yeah,
So if you like actually really looked into the situation, it wasn't this nightmare plague that the media was making it out to be.
no, people jumped on board like they wanted to be on board.
Hmm.
It was like Bob Marley with his dreadlocks. It's like this is my identity.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it was like it was something that they felt part of.
That's what it
They
is.
felt like they were part of
They're
something.
Marilyn Manson fans. They're
Yeah.
identifying with him.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're not Marilyn Manson fans. They're Cooties fans,
Yeah, like
which is a weird thing to be a fan
it
of.
is.
Their
It's
their rock star is they have weird rock star taste. They're like, we love Anthony Fauci and Peter Hotez.
yes, so sexy.
Those are my rock stars. But the same kind of manipulation is going on with Ozempic in a weird way
Totally.
because fat shaming is real and
Mhm.
it's done in subtle ways, a million myriad of ways, every day in the media. You're not really supposed to be fat.
No.
I mean, you're supposed to be looking good, and if you're not, you're silently
Oh my
shamed.
god, I just had a huge epiphany.
Epiphany, epiphany, epiphany.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you know how it was never, like, cool or in style to be fat?
Mhm.
And, everybody wanted to be thin, and we had, like, the Victoria's Secret models from,
That's
like, the
right.
'80s and stuff. Well, then suddenly it was, like, fat shaming, and it was suddenly cool to be fat, and we had all these plus size models, and we had, like,
Mhm, yeah.
the fat what's that really fat, singer?
Lizzo.
Lizzo. And
And
we
she's
had
in a swimsuit, and you're just like, ugh.
yeah, and they were really pushing this whole, like, don't fat shame, and, like, look at how beautiful these fat girls are
Yeah.
on the the
You go
swimsuit,
to Target
um,
and like those
sport
underwear models over
yeah,
there.
and they were having, like, a Sports Illustrated issue with fat girls.
They did.
Well,
And they look like beach whales on the beach. And
what
it's like, why?
what if they were pushing this whole fat is beautiful thing so that people would just kind of like go along with being fat?
And then go take Ozempic?
Yes, so they could get everybody like on board with being fat for several years and then come up with this drug
That makes
to
sense.
make them thin. And now you know what they're pushing? It's like skinny is back in again. Have you noticed?
Yep.
Like all these people, and you can tell like a lot of these actresses are taking Ozempic and they're rail thin and they look horrible. And even Kim Kardashian, have you noticed? I think she got her butt implants removed. Like all her followers are going to go have to go get their butt implants removed. She's super thin. She was never thin before. She was always kind of round and, you know,
Yeah,
healthier looking. Like now she looks very thin. And
totally.
this is like the new style again. Like thin
Isn't
is
that
in,
interesting?
thin is in, and all the Ozempic thing is
So that's
happening.
all driven by the media, and so they got them get fat, and
Yeah.
then they came out with Ozempic.
And now the
So
thing is to
Ozempic,
be
oh my
thin.
God, because what they probably saw was Ozempic was in clinical trials,
Yeah.
and it was about to go live. They
Mhm.
were about to go to market. That's what they call it. So
Like the
now
little piggies.
they're like the little piggies going to market. So then it goes live, and now it's for sale. And leading up to it going for sale, they had been having Lizzo on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So all these girls were like, you know what? I'm just gonna have some ice cream
Mhm.
because fat is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fat.
It's fine. And then all of a sudden the media contradicts them and they don't remember because they're Dory. And the media goes, no, but now be thin. And they
Yeah.
go, well,
Thin
how am I
is
going to
in.
get thin? Well, you could just inject this
We've
in your
got
stomach.
this drug for you.
Here you go.
Mhm.
And so now these people are going to be doing that. And then what's going to happen is they're going to be on Ozempic for the rest of their
They're
lives.
a lifetime customer.
How many
Not
people
only
that took Ozempic probably took the Pokies?
well, that's what I said. I think 99%,
So
if not
it's
100.
kind of like it's like a cocktail that they're on now.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Because it's got some of the same ingredients, so it's like a double whammy, and, oh my gosh, yeah, I think,
That's interesting. So they drove fat people to become fat, and then they've shifted gears and said, no, but you want to be thin.
yeah,
But here's how you do it.
yeah, and not only will they be a customer for life with Ozempic, but they're gonna have all these other side effects, and
Totally.
so they're gonna be, like, on other big shawarma too.
Well, that was like Clint Eastwood. He came out and he said, get off of these statins and these blood thinners
Mhm,
because those are gnarly.
mhm,
Those are really deadly. And they they do it under the guise of, well, if you don't thin your blood, you're gonna have a stroke.
yeah,
And it's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to prevent a stroke by taking this poison. You're taking poison
yeah,
at the behest of them telling you that you're going to have a stroke.
I know.
So it's kind of
And it's only just like, "Oh, we'll reduce your risk. You may not have a stroke." It's not even like a sure thing, you know?
said they're just driving people's behavior
Yeah,
in order to exterminate them.
right.
That's what I think Big Sharm is doing at this
And I
point.
think along the way, they want you to be a bigger customer. Like you were saying, they fleece you and then they slaughter you,
That's right.
right?
They take you, they fleece you, and they shave you all of your money off of you, and then they slaughter you.
That's so appropriate because, it's such a, like, sheep kind of behavior to even
It's a sheep
do this.
behavior. And I mean, you can lose a lot of money. My dad's heart surgery was 350 grand.
Oh my God.
That's
Could
gnarly.
have bought another house with that.
Dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And then they talked him into it. And I remember before he went into the surgery, he looked great.
That
So
sucks. Yeah.
I really got mad. That was part of the reason I got so upset with my dad's death is because I feel like Big Shawarma killed him.
Yeah.
He didn't die that young. He was 79, but he could have easily lived several years more.
Yeah, totally.
And his quality of life through the 70s could have been great instead it
Yeah.
was shitty.
It was bad quality of life towards the end, huh?
And dude, just like your dad, if I told him, please, just he was taking a whole regimen of pharmaceutical drugs. He would take 10 in the morning and
Oh
10
my
at night.
gosh. Wow.
10.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And he was just totally worked. It was
Mhm.
totally poisoning him. You could
Yeah.
see it, but he was so strong, he could withstand the poisoning,
Yeah.
but it finally took him out.
Yeah.
So I'm mad at it. That's part of the reason I kind of wanted to do this podcast.
Yeah.
In the wake of him dying, I wanted to push back and call out this stuff. And this story was a perfect example. What is white pill for this one?
White pill is
Don't take their
me-
pills.
yeah, remember Nancy Reagan, her whole slogan during the
Don't
80s?
do drugs.
She was like, just say no.
Just say no to
So
drugs.
I think that's the white pill.
It is.
We are prescribing a white pill that is I was going to say non-addictive, but I'm actually hoping that we are addictive.
It's addictive
Yeah.
like working out is addictive.
Yeah.
Eating
But
right is addictive.
it's safe and effective and it's
Yes.
healthy and it's good for you. And our white pill is just say no to their pill.
Say no to that. Here's another white pill. Get your ass in fucking shape.
Yeah.
Dude, I got in shape. And you know what it took to get in shape was a routine.
Yeah.
So now I walk 6 miles a day. I do 100 push-ups. I do two 30-second planks, and I do 40 squats.
Wow. I hate squats.
They're
Those are
gnarly, but they're
gnarly.
so good for your
I know.
core. And and then also what I've noticed is food is medicine.
Hmm.
Eating good food. Last night I made a killer salad. I
Mm.
had arugula.
Love arugula.
It was so good. I had arugula, I had apples, I had avocado, I had tomatoes, I had celery and carrots, and
It sounds like you're like a little bunny.
totally. It was a
Mm.
really good salad. And when I ate it, I felt really good.
Yeah.
It felt like medicine,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a huge disgusting, I had a little bit of chicken with a little bit of pasta with that. You got to eat right. Learn how to eat. I had to learn how to eat because
Yeah.
I was kind of raised on McDonald's and Taco Bell and
Oh
stuff,
wow.
because my mom, she stayed down in LA to sell the house when me and my dad moved to where we moved when I was in seventh grade. And, um, it was just me and him, and he didn't cook. So
Yeah.
I got in the habit of eating that fast food a lot.
Mm.
You have to break that habit.
Yeah. It's garbage and it's got all kinds of really weird stuff in it.
Dude, I ate breakfast at this place called Rise today. Have you heard of Rise?
No.
It's like southern fried biscuits
Oh
and
wow.
chicken and biscuits, and it's really good.
Hmm.
But as I was eating, I was like, dude, this is so fattening.
Yeah.
It's like Ozempic making for me.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes once in a while, I think everything in moderation,
Every once in a while.
once in a while, something like that's like a treat, but you can't eat like that all the time.
Don't eat out all the time. You know
It's just
what?
not
That's
good.
another white pill is get in the habit of preparing your meals at home,
Yeah.
doing your
You
dishes.
know what? That's such a good point because I think people have gotten like in this fast-paced lifestyle that everybody's just scrambling and like running on their hamster wheels every day to make ends meet. And they've gotten lazy about, cooking and stuff like that. And so they've gotten used to just like calling DoorDash now and
And then
stuff
you were
like
talking
that.
about the now generation. The
Yeah.
now generation uses their
They just have
apps.
an app and they have like DoorDash come deliver
A
some
drone just drops off your
food.
chicken.
Yeah, and it's not good. And I don't know. Luckily I was raised. My mom always cooked. Like she cooked. Like we never hardly ever went out. It was rare, and we never had fast food. And she didn't allow any kind of like sugary cereals or anything like
That's the
that.
white pill.
Yeah,
You
and
have to eat like that.
you
If
have
you
to eat
cook at
healthy.
home, eat healthy and exercise.
Yeah.
Do not go take these weight loss drugs.
No, and also like I think, hopefully, even if, you did get duped and took those pokey pokes, I think it's not too late to wake up and don't do any more of the big
I
shawarma,
think that's what it
you
is.
know?
I think what you
Like,
do is you have to,
you gotta learn from your mistakes
like in a
and, like,
Christian sense, you got to repent.
exactly, and you gotta learn from your mistakes, like, don't just, like, do more and more, like, I wish that I had never participated in any kind of pokey pokes because I think they're all bad, and, like, even for my dogs,
Totally.
I mean,
I'm anti-vax now.
I think, yeah, I think they're all dangerous. I think this episode's probably gonna be banned. I'm sure YouTube's gonna, like,
It will, but
flag us.
that's cool. You know
Yeah,
what? I still want to say it because somebody will listen to it, and somebody out there is going to appreciate what we're saying.
yeah.
Because what it comes down to is avoid big shawarma
Avoid big shawarma.
and
Yeah.
do it by eating right and exercising.
And I think even if
Your
you've
life
been
depends on it.
I think if you've been poisoned in the past with, like, big shawarma or pokey pokes, I think you
Get out of
can
it.
get healthier again. Like,
Totally.
look at my dad seems to be just within a few days seems to be doing better,
You just cease
you
and
know?
desist. You know
Yeah.
what happens? The very dangerous behavior is the Stockholm Syndrome,
Yeah.
is not being able to admit that you got duped
Yeah.
and doubling down and saying, "No, no, big shawarma is good, and I've
Yeah.
got this other big shawarma that takes care of the side effects from this big shawarma." That's how people do it.
Yeah.
That's how they move
Well,
forward.
injecting your stomach with something to like lose a few pounds, like shouldn't you stop and question that? That doesn't sound like the right thing to do, or it doesn't sound safe. And just saying, "Oh, they've been giving this to diabetic people for years," that doesn't like really
You know
answer the
what's weird
question.
is people don't act rationally for their health.
No.
They act in a way that they want to stay in the in crowd.
Uh-huh.
This is all follower behavior.
Uh-huh.
They want to stay in the in crowd because if you don't um, go along with the mainstream these days, you get ostracized, and people are terrified of that.
Right.
I think
But
that's what it is.
you
It's
know,
followers.
you know what I think we are though? We're black sheep and
We are.
we're anti-followers, and I think that's the way to go going forward. I think you want to be an anti-follower. You want to where whichever way the crowd is going, you want to go in the opposite direction.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's
So
right. Well, we've
so
talked about
instead
that,
of
how it's not really necessarily the chemicals, it's the character trait of being a follower.
Yeah. So instead of injecting your stomach to lose 20 pounds or something, how about um like fixing yourself an arugula and blueberry and feta cheese salad with a little bit of
Yes.
grilled chicken on top
Grilled chicken.
for dinner
That's
instead
dinner.
of ordering DoorDash and
Yeah,
getting a bunch of greasy food that you have no idea how many calories are in it,
totally.
you know?
The other thing I started doing is I drink mineral water rather than Monsters.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
been
good.
huge. And I lost a lot of weight because Monsters are fattening. And then I used to drink soda a lot. Cut soda out of your diet
Mhm.
because who knows what's in that? There could be mind control in that
I've
stuff.
heard there's mind control and there's stuff in the aluminum cans that's supposed to be really bad too.
See?
I know. And I do like to have a little sip of Pepsi once in a while after a meal. But you know what? Everything in moderation.
Well,
Like like
that's the whole
a
lesson of
little
life.
treat here and there isn't going to kill you,
No, no,
you
it's
know?
habits.
Yeah.
If you eat out every day
Yeah.
and you drink Monsters every day,
Yeah.
that's when it's going to start to compound in you.
Right.
You know, it makes me think about the white pill for this episode is when Dante gets to the top of, not to the top, but to about three-quarters of the way up the mountain of purgatory. Virgil, who is reason, he can't guide him anymore up the mountain. So the angel, um, the divine goddess of love, Beatrice, has to come down and take him up into the paradise. But as Virgil is leaving Dante, he says, I crown and mitre you ruler of yourself.
Hmm.
And that is the whole point of the Divine Comedy is Dante learns to control himself.
Interesting.
And that's how you keep yourself from sin, and that's how you keep yourself from destructive behaviors. That's what you have to do now. You
Right.
have to have control over yourself because we have dangerous entities. The culture club is dangerous.
We have megalomaniac psychopaths running our
Triple M to the P's.
yeah, listen to our previous episode on that.
Totally.
I think that's
So
a beautiful message and
yeah.
probably a good place to end it.
This is where we should stop. Okay,
Yeah,
good. All
that
right.
was good.
All right. Oh, by the way, follow us.
Oh, yes.
Follow us on Instagram at
Unslave Your Mind podcast.
on X at Unslave Your Mind Podcast, Rumble, Unslave Your Mind Podcast.
And we're starting our website,
Mhm.
unslaveyourmindpodcast.com. And
Mhm.
we are hoping that if you enjoyed this episode or any of the episodes, that you'll share them with a friend.
Share them and
Because
please comment.
and because we're like a good Chinese restaurant.
That's right.
It's going to get out there word of mouth. We're working against the algorithms.
That's exactly it.
And we're going to be moving into a studio pretty soon that
Yes.
so we won't be interrupted and we can put out more content.
Yes.
We're going to have merch, and so hopefully we'll have some cool stuff that our listeners will want to
Oh, our cool
yeah,
shirts.
that hopefully our listeners will want, and maybe once in a while we might get a donation or something to help us pay the rent on our
We have
studio.
donations that we're
We're
going to
going to
have.
set that up. So, but as always, our episodes are going to be free for everyone to listen to.
And we're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
We're
not.
we have a routine now, and we're kind of just making this happen.
Yeah.
So
We
if you
are
like us,
grassroots.
yes, if you like us, join us, because we're not going anywhere. We're
Yeah.
going to be we're investing in this for at least another year.
We want a community.
We want a community. That's what I want.
Yeah, we want you to share us and help grow our community.
Yes.
So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll talk soon to everybody.
Bye.
Bye now.